Hello, this is me, Nicholas, also known as Franz the Executioner. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the historical accurate context behind and about the medieval executioner's hood. So a lot of people believe either that the executioners wore hoods all the time, which is not true, or people believe on the other end of the spectrum that executioners did not at all wear hoods and they never covered their face, which is also not true. I'm going to tell you it depends on the region and the place the executioner was in, and it varied from region to region. For an example, Franz Schmidt was an executioner in Germany, and he chose not to wear his hood. So there was executioners that did wear hoods in Germany, and there is actually hoods from executioners in the museums in Germany that they actually have on display. Just Franz Schmidt did not wear his hood. He chose not to wear it, and because he was confident in his work, and he was very skilled nonetheless. He was a very good executioner. However, there was other regions that the executioners did wear hoods or masks. For an example, Giovanni Bugatti, which was an executioner in the Papal States, he either wore a white hood with a white cloak, or he wore his red hood with his red cloak, which is like a scarlet red color. Those were his two main outfits that he wore when he was working. Obviously, when the executioner was not working, like when they're going to the market or had to run errands, they were not hooded, they were not masked at all. But I do have some replicas of what the hoods would have looked like. And I actually have a replica that I made myself of Giovanni Bugatti's hood. So I'm going to show you that. So this hood, I actually put on the skeleton, but I made it. And this is what Giovanni Bugatti's hood actually looked like. And if you look up online, Giovanni Bugatti's executioner hoods, you would look up on the Google Images and you will find the museum that they're actually in. They're in the Criminal Justice Museum in Italy, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but in one of the museums. Not sure which exact one. But this is a replica of what his hood looked like, and I actually made that myself. And then I also have a replica that I handmade myself of Giovanni Bugatti's scarlet hood, which is like a scarlet red color. And I did do my own alterations on it, because I do wear it when I perform mock executions. But it basically looked like this. It was a lot shorter than the white one, but it was just like what you would typically think an executioner hood would look like. Obviously, I did the embroidery here. That wasn't on his hood. That's just the alteration I did myself. But that's basically what it looked like. And then the masks, because in some areas and regions they didn't wear the cloth hoods. Some regions they did wear the masks. And the typical executioner mask would look something like this. So this is actually a mask I had made. It's made out of, some of them were made out of leather, some of them were made out of metal, and it depends on the region and how they were made in that region. But this is basically what they would look like. Typically, they looked like a representation of a face. Then the executioner would have that on, basically. So usually they would have a nose piece like this and look like they have eyebrows. It's basically what the masks looked like in some regions. So, no, executioners did not wear hoods all the time, and people did know who they were. Typically, the reason why they would wear the hoods while they're on the scaffold performing an execution is because what if a person who is not in that region, not in that kingdom, comes and sees the executioner doing his work? So that kind of anonymity was important for those cases. Also, they would wear the hoods if they're doing a high-profile execution. So, like, if they're executing a queen or a king, a lot of times they would mask themselves, because sometimes that executioner did not want to be known for executing a high-profile individual. So, that is another factor. In some areas, it was a status symbol. If the executioner was the royal executioner, he would typically wear the hood, and that also varied from region to region. In Franz Schmidt's case, he chose not to wear it. He was confident in his work, and he just chose not to wear it. It even says in his diary that he got rid of it after his work was done, after he retired. So, yes, in different regions, some executioners do not wear hoods. Some of them did. And the look and the construction of the hood or mask was different in each region that they did wear it, if they did. And yes, it's not a complete myth on either end of the spectrum. So they didn't wear it all the time, 24/7. People knew who they were. But in certain regions and certain executioners did wear the hoods and masks. It really varied greatly. So like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, and have a great day, everyone. Peace.